Hello again. If a child wants to live with a parent, do they have an... Hold on.
Hey, Daddy, can we get a pony?
Well, that's a pretty big responsibility, Sophie.
You can trust me. I'm your only daughter.
She raises a fair point. If a child wants to live with a parent, can that be used as a basis to modify the schedule to say 50-50? Now, before we answer that question, I gotta do a little bit of pandering here. YouTube doesn't pay me, but the likes and subscribes help me figure out which videos to do more of in the future. Now, Illinois has a ton of factors the court looks at when deciding visitation, and one of those is the wishes of the child, but it's a bit more complicated than that, as noted in this TikTok. In Illinois, a child's preference is a factor the court considers in visitation, depending, and that's because case law cautions that letting kids pick who they want to live with is fraught with risk. Bad parents could bully or manipulate the child into picking one over the other. Interestingly enough, though, at 14 years of age, a child has tremendous influence on where they want to live, well, in guardianship or adoption matters, but not divorce or custody disputes. The recent holding in Trapkus is a mixed bag for both proponents and opponents of 50-50 parenting time. The Trapkus decision indicates, well, that the parents didn't really get along very well, but the judge did give dad alternate weekends. Mom had kind of everything else. Years past, dad files for 50-50, argues the kids are older and want to be with them more. And to be fair, the kids tell the judge, yeah, we're cool with 50-50, but the judge denies dad's motion, stating there wasn't enough for a substantial change in circumstances. So dad appeals. And the issue is, if the older kids want to spend more time with a parent, can that be a substantial change in circumstances? And this is important because the law in Illinois requires that prior to changing a schedule, absent an agreement, something substantial must have occurred after the judgment to justify such a change. Now, there is some ancient case law, like 1970s, but both of those cases indicate that letting kids have a say is a non-starter. However, neither case is cited or referenced by the reviewing court in Trapkus. Ultimately, the appellate court here straddles itself between yes and no, holding that if the wishes of the kids are relevant to whether a substantial change has occurred, those wishes must be considered in their context. And using that, they state that dad didn't point to any evidence that shows the older kids wanting 50-50 constitute a substantial change in circumstances. Now, I know this seems a bit confusing, but let me state it this way. A parent has to explain why the kids want to see them more. If one parent lets them stay up all night, skip their homework, let's say drink beer while the other maintains a curfew, no alcohol, heavy focus on school, guess who the teenager is going to pick? And this holding is consistent with prior opinions. Hold on.
Daddy, can we get a puppy?
Well, who's going to feed the puppy?
I'm your only son.
As you can see, the video has kind of a really cringy theme, but this holding is consistent with prior opinions, such as this one from 40 years ago, that opine there must be a nexus between considering the child's wishes and their best interests. Additionally, Trapkus cites, to my case, Virgin. Now, I've won other appeals, but Virgin, well, let's face it, it's my Come On Eileen, the one I'll probably always be known for, which holds that parents who hate each other enough can't do 50-50. Which leads the court to note that even if the kids' desire for 50-50 was a substantial change, the drama level was just too much off the charts to make it work. Now, I covered the connection between drama levels and 50-50 outcomes a few months ago, placing them kind of on a spectrum, and I feel Trapkus supports this trend. 50-50 is off the table if you can't check your emotions at the door. The link to that video is in the description below. It's worth a click. In summation, the wishes of the kids are a factor, but be prepared to explain why if you're arguing that as a sole basis for modification. Anyways, that's all I have. Thanks for watching.